Zips Football Weekly with Tom Arth. Presented by Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime. Hosted by Joe Dunn. Contributing partners include Summa Health. It's your health. Let's own it together. Miller Lite. It's Miller time. Hilton Akron Fairlawn. Proud to be the host hotel of Zips Football. And the Spaghetti Warehouse. Famous for its 15-layer lasagna.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Zips Football Weekly with head coach Tom Arth, brought to you as always by our friends at the Wentz Financial Group. Well, the Zips have just 4 games remaining on the 2019 schedule, beginning this Saturday over in Bowling Green against the Falcons. That will be a 2 o'clock kickoff. Next home game is Tuesday night, November 12th. Eastern Michigan comes to town for a game over at InfoCision Stadium as we get ready for some action. Coach, you ready for some action? That's some weekday. We got 3 of those left, I think.
We do. We have three weeknight games, and I'm excited for it. I think it's great for your school. I think it's great for your players to have that type of platform to play on, and the recognition that comes with it. It's the only show in town, and you get an opportunity to play, to get coverage nationally, and I think that's really positive for our team.
I guess the first question we have to ask you today, Coach, have you dried out from DeKalb? You and I were both down on the field. I'm not sure if you were as wet as I was, but that was simply a miserable afternoon.
Yeah, I got to be honest, Joe. I looked over, I saw you on the sideline a couple times. I'm like, if I was Joe, I think I'd have found my way up to the booth by now. But I'm proud of you. You hung in there. You were tough. You weren't hanging out by the heaters or trying to get under the awning. You were out in the elements, and I appreciated that.
I talked to you after the game, Coach, and I brought that up about the weather, the field conditions, and you made a great point. It was the same thing for both teams.
It was, and again, that's part of the game. That's part of football, especially here in this part of the country. Whether you're playing in Akron or you're playing at Northern Illinois, you're going to have games like that. You have games like that in the in the early part of the season, but you're for sure going to have those types of games late in the year. And fortunately, it wasn't very cold. It was wet. But it wasn't very cold. I've been a part of a lot worse, and that's why it's so important to take advantage of those days during the year whenever they come up, where you get some rainy practices and you can talk about fundamentals and techniques of playing on a wet field and dealing with a wet football. And we value that. We value that experience, and I think it was a good learning opportunity for our team to say, hey, here's why we do that. Here's why we stay out and practice in the elements, so that we can't look at you after a game like that and say, it's our fault. We didn't prepare you for that. It was good to learn that. It was good to be a part of that type of game.
Right now, let's go back to DeKalb, Illinois this past Saturday afternoon. The Zips taking on Northern Illinois. Highlights brought to you by ESPN3. And Coach, we win the toss, and we want the football, I think. Yeah, no, we did. Definitely, our goal was to, felt really good about our plan coming into it. Thought our kickoff return had a great shot. And you can see very close on a few of those. During the game to breaking them open, but really wanted to go and get a great start and take the lead. Boy, Brandon Lee, very first play, he goes around the right side, first down, and then some things happen you're not happy with. Yeah, second, had a great play into second and short. We snap the ball, roll it back through the quarterback, past the quarterback, and end up going from 2nd and 1 to a 3rd and 15 or whatever it was, and it had nothing to do obviously with the Huskies defense, and that's the frustration, and the things that we have to continue to improve to put ourselves in better position to execute and to drive the football. They go down and score. I think they take about 7 minutes off the clock. We get it back. Before we saw the kickoff, boy, Watts with a nice breakup of the pass in the end zone. Yeah, that was a great play, AJ. I think we've seen that in the past few weeks, his length and his athleticism, just being able to get his hands on some footballs and knock some passes down. Boy, at the end of the first quarter, Coach, we're only down 7-0, still in the football game, and then a couple crazy things happen in that second quarter. Yeah, and again, offensively, kind of putting our defense in some bad situations. We had the coming out situation where we had a high snap, and then the quarterback and running back, do I hand it, do I run with it? We end up putting the ball on the ground and giving up another defensive touchdown, gave up 2 in the game.
which is just just unacceptable for us, and just makes it really difficult to be successful.
As you said, Coach, I'm down on the field, and I saw some great individual effort. John Lako continues to play extremely hard. Dylan Meeks with good pursuit, I think, on one play. So you guys really playing hard for you.
Yeah, there was that play there with Dylan, and I saw him yesterday. We had an event up in Cleveland, and we had a few of the players there. Dylan was one of them, and I was like, man, I didn't know you could run like that. That was impressive.
It was. I had a great look at that. I didn't think he'd get there and just ran him down, but good play by that young man out of Orlando, Florida. As we said, Josh Ward with the sack, so the defense playing hard for you all game long.
Yeah, they did. I think defensively, we didn't tackle well. That was our biggest issue in the game. And first drive was a great example of that. Have him in a 3rd and long, have an opportunity for a sack. We let him escape, and that was kind of the case all game for us. And I think if we can improve in that area, we'll be much better.
We talked about Brandon Lee, Coach, before the show began. He's just a little guy, but he runs extremely hard. He's the kid that transferred in from Mount Union. He had a couple of big plays for you. He
did. Brandon, he does run hard. He really does, and he played well for us, and gave us a great spark. In our offense, it was probably the best that he's run the ball all season long, and it was good to see that.
Need a big running back. I think we'll see a couple of those guys maybe next year.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
Zips down, as we said, in the second quarter, 21-0. We're going to take second half action, Coach, but kind of sum up what you saw that first half.
Well, I think again, allowing the first drive of the game, really had an opportunity, got off to a great start, great opening play. We're tempoing into a second down, which we've been really successful in doing, and we get a bad snap and forces a 3 and out. Then we get them into some 3rd downs, get them into a 3rd and long after they have a bad snap, and we miss an opportunity for a sack, let them score a touchdown on the drive, and it was just a little bit of that. The second drive, we're moving the football, get it down in there, and get hit on a throw that we thought passed it could have been a touchdown on the 3rd and 1. So just a few things here and there at the beginning of the game that go a little differently, and I think we give ourselves a better shot.
There you go. Hey, we're going to take a break. Come back with our weekly feature right after this.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
The University of Akron is more than a college or campus.
It's a connection to the community.
To the thousands of opportunities right here in Northeast Ohio.
And to the partnerships with employers and organizations.
Like the LeBron James Family Foundation, where we connect kids to life-changing possibilities.
It's the strength of UA, this city, and these connections.
It's where students make an impact on their community and in the world.
While still making an impact
in the classroom,
on the track,
in the boardroom,
and in my community.
That's what makes us the University of Akron.
Well, if you didn't know it, we're going to tell you right now. It's 150th year of college football, and we thought we'd go around and talk to some of our coaches, some of our players, and talk about some of the outstanding players they watched growing up. Let's watch that right now.
I'll say Auburn versus Alabama's kick 6. I think that was I'm not a huge fan of Alabama. I like underdog wins, and so when I seen that, I was just like, that's probably one of the greatest plays in football history.
I'd say a great memory would probably be back in 2002 when I was in 8th grade when the Buckeyes beat the Hurricanes. Miami was an amazing team, and Ohio State was a big underdog, and them being able to beat them in double overtime, and Maurice Claret's strip fumble, that was pretty cool.
2 years ago when Kyron Brown picked off for a game-winning INT, pick 6 against Bowling Green. That was a moment I'll never forget, man.
One would be for my playing career at the Case Western Reserve University. We're playing Widener, and we're in a 2-minute situation. Jeff Mayer was an incredible wide receiver who was a local guy, who was a transfer actually from Baldwin Wallace, who went up and made a catch that still to this day, I don't know if it was a touchdown or not, but he extended the ball. The official threw his hands up with 2 seconds left in the game, and we score and be able to be the first team in Case Western Reserve University history to win a playoff game. So that was really special to be part of that.
Growing up, I always watched, Ray Lewis highlights, Patrick Willis, all those middle linebacker guys making big plays. I always said before I watch big hit videos and all that, and it always hypes me up before games and gets me in that mindset.
The most exciting player I've ever seen is Reggie Bush. Like him in high school, like when we were watching college football, like he would just do things with the football that nobody's like ever seen done in a long time. So definitely Reggie Bush and his versatility and how he just took over games.
Being an offensive lineman from Northeast Ohio, Gene Murskowski, who nobody knows who that is, actually played in the NFL for a couple of years, was a center at Purdue in the Joe Tiller era, blocked for Drew Brees. He actually played guard then. Chuck Jacoby was actually the center of that team, but really an outstanding opportunity. He played at Benedictine High School where I played at, and I grew up, I wanted to be number 79, and I wanted to play at Purdue.
As much as I disliked him, I think Tim Tebow's character, his character and like the way he handled himself and the way he got everybody to play, with him was somebody that I could emulate myself after. But probably like my playmaking ability, I'd probably say like Jameis. Jameis was, my guy back then, so I got to roll with Jameis.
I think the player that I wanted to be the most like, because I was a defensive player, was Sean Taylor. I mean, he just played the game the right way. I mean, the way he played the game would have been outlawed today in today's football.
Sean Taylor, he's the biggest, he's the best. He implies his will on people on the field, man. He had offensive coordinators more afraid of him scoring touchdowns from a defensive standpoint, so that was my favorite player growing up.
Being a part of the 150th years, like, I mean, I probably don't realize the magnitude of it now, but I feel like I will later on in time. But yeah, it feels great to be a part of it.
I think this is a very special sport, and I think that this is there's a lot of special people that are involved, and how it's kind of just one big community. It's a special fraternity, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
It's something special. Not everybody gets the opportunity to come out here every day and go to school, get their education, and come out here and do what we love every day. It's a blessing, and I'm very thankful for this.
The opportunity that we get each day to be a part of these guys' lives and to be able to coach the game and to be able to, teach these guys this game, and the gratification and just the feeling that you get when you're able to see a player that you coach do well or take the coaching and go perform at his best, and just to see kind of how it makes him feel and to see how it fits into our team's success is just the best feeling in the world.
Okay, Coach, here's the big question. I know you're a lot younger than I am, but who were some of the great college football players you watched growing up as a kid?
You know what? I was a big Notre Dame fan growing up.
Sure.
And I remember Tony Rice back in the late 80s. Rick Meyer, watching him play, that was kind of Ron Paulus.
Sure.
Growing up. So that was really the team, and probably my greatest memory was being at the Notre Dame Penn State game. It's actually they show it in the movie Rudy. It was just huge snowflakes. It was an overtime win for Notre Dame. Just such a special place and such an incredible game to have been at and been able to see live.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed that feature. 150 years of college football. We're going to take a break. Come right back with second half highlights, so don't go away.
Roman was born with a hole in his heart. But thanks to the experts at Summa, who found the problem and fixed it quickly, he's feeling 26 again. Not 76. Minimally invasive heart procedures, many performed in under 2 hours. Summa Health, vital for getting back in the game and more.
Miller Lite is brewed with great taste, only 96 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. Now that's a combo. Miller Lite, hold true.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Football Weekly with head coach Tom Arth. We're watching highlights from Saturday's game out in DeKalb, Illinois. The Zips taking on the Huskies of NIU. And let's go right back and watch some highlights brought to you again by ESPN3. And Coach, you used all 3 of your quarterbacks in that second half.
Yeah, we did. Really felt that weren't getting a whole lot going. With Zach in that game, and just felt hey, let's give Robbie a shot, and he got a few series and really wanted to get TJ some work as well, and really thought TJ came in and did some good things, you know, at the end of the game, which was good to see. TJ's a guy that really doesn't get a lot of opportunities at practice, but he's always ready. You know, he's always ready for his moment. Was standing on the sideline, freezing the whole game, and went in and moved the football and you know, gave us a good chance.
Yeah, TJ DeShields from West Branch High School over there in the Alliance area, so he came in and played pretty well. And again, I thought you had a number of guys that continued to play hard, regardless of the score, regardless of the weather. They were out there giving it everything they had.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you know, that's been consistent for us and for our group all season long. And you know, I told the team that I told them that it wasn't a lack of effort, you know, at all. You know, we saw that. We saw the guys playing hard. We saw them finish. You know, and the thing about it is, we just, you know, we gotta execute better. We gotta tackle. We gotta get people to the ground. We gotta you know, get a line properly. We gotta get snaps. We got to do, you know, we just got to be better, you know, in all of the little things and the little areas of the game that show up and become magnified, you know, in situations like this.
Logan Hawkins, a young freshman from Western PA, got in. I thought he was pretty active in the middle of that defense on a couple plays.
Yeah, I thought Logan played well. He made a number of plays for us in the game, which was really good to see that.
Then he had Brandon Lee and Malachi Burton continue to run hard. They had some nice runs late in that game, so they continued to run hard.
They did. You know, both of those backs had really good days for us. I think they both had a pretty good yards per carry average. And, you know, we ran the ball well. It's something that we've kind of seen here the last few weeks. Our offensive line has been playing better in the run game and being physical off blocks. And the backs have been hitting the holes here these past couple of weeks, and we're going to need that to continue for us.
You brought the team over a couple times, Coach, late in the game and gathered everybody around. What did you say to them? Just keep playing hard regardless of the weather? And
yeah, you know, it was turning, you know, into a pretty ugly game. Yeah. You know, it was really kind of tough to get much going. We were making mistakes on offense, giving up touchdowns for them. You know, we were having trouble stopping them, so it was just important for me, I felt, to bring the team together and just, you know, say, hey, there's a way that we play, there's an effort that we play with, there's a standard that we'd uphold, and I don't care what the score is, I don't care what the weather is, like, we're not going to be standing by the heaters, we're going to be supporting our teammates on the field, and we're going to finish this game the right way.
There you go. Highlights from the Northern Illinois game. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll announce our player of the game, our play of the week, and have a little preview of that game over at Bowling Green on Saturday. We'll be right back.
The difference with Wentz Financial Group is that we do not have a cookie-cutter answer to any of our clients' needs. Every day is completely different in the market, and every client situation is unique. We value the opportunity and responsibility to manage the hopes and dreams of our 3,000 customers nationwide.
Come see the difference Wentz Financial Group can make for your financial future. Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime.
Well, each week this time, we announce our play of the game and our player of the game. They're both brought to you by the Wentz Financial Group. Well, our player of the game is a young kid out of Florida. He's a walk-on, transferred in from Mount Union. Little Brandon Lee out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, led the Zips in rushing with 10 carries for 77 net yards. Coach, he's only 5'6", 160 pounds, but as we talked about early in the program, he continues to run hard for you.
He does. I think that might be a little bit generous
5'6"
on the height and the weight, but you know, Brandon really does run hard, and you know, really proud of him, proud of his effort, and you know, it shows up every single day. He hits holes, you know, like that at practice, you know, and he gets an opening. I mean, he's hitting it and he's running as hard as he can, and thought he played really well. Thought he, you know, just a run like that, you know, maybe it's a 2-yard gain, but he, you know, he wasn't trying to bounce the ball. Was you know, putting it up, you know, staying inside between the tackles and creasing them on some opportunities.
For the first time I saw him in spring, I thought maybe he was a little better wide receiver than a running back, but he surprised me with the way he runs the football.
Yeah, you know, I think we had him initially playing wide receiver for us, and you know, using him in the slot, and really felt just with some depth issues at running back and some of the things that we do like to do with our running backs out of the backfield, that he could be a good matchup issue in the passing game for us. So made that move back there, and he's had a pretty good year for us.
You don't recruit a lot of players 5'6" and 150, but he maybe shows there's some guys out there that can play. I don't know.
Absolutely. I mean, I think and again, it's a credit to him and his work ethic, and coming in on a walk-on tryout in February to being our starting running back is pretty impressive.
How about our play of the game? And it was another defensive player that continued to play hard for Coach. Senior defensive lineman Josh Ward out of Delray Beach, Florida, had one of the biggest defensive plays of the afternoon. Had a sack on Northern Illinois quarterback Marque Childers, and he's celebrating right there, Coach. And senior, still playing hard, and had the nice sack.
Josh is just an unbelievable person. Just so much fun to be around, so much energy, so positive, always smiling. He's going to be so successful in his life, and I'm so fortunate that I had the chance to meet him and to coach him this year. He'll be one of those guys that you always remember.
He always has a smile on his face. Of course, I'm down on the sidelines, and he's always encouraging guys and has a smile on his face, and can't have enough of those guys.
No, you can't. And he was with us at the event we had yesterday for the Poor Clares up in Cleveland, and I walked out, and he's loading up a bike into somebody back of their car, helping them out. I mean, he's just an unbelievable person, and really proud to say I coached him and to have him as part of our program.
As we said at the top of the telecast, we just have 4 regular season games left for 2019. It all begins this Saturday over in Bowling Green. That'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff against the Falcons. Coach, they're 2-6, 1-3, but boy, the big win they've had this year was their arch rival Toledo. That opened up a lot of eyes.
It sure did. That was a huge win, especially with how well Toledo, had been playing up to that point. And I think great credit to Bowling Green and their players and coaches for getting that win. And they're a good football team. They do a lot. They throw a lot at you, offensively and defensively. A lot of different formations. Defensively, different fronts, different pressures, a lot that you really have to be prepared for, within your game plan. So that'll be the big challenge for us this coming week.
Of course, their head coach is a former Barberton Magic, Scott Leffler, also in his first year as head coach in the Mid-American Conference. You guys got a lot in common. 2 former quarterbacks, 2 first-year guys in the MAC.
Yeah, that's right. And I've gotten to know Scott a little bit just in these past few months with some of the media day and different events that we've had within the conference, and I think he's going to do a great job there. You can see it. You can see what they're doing, offensively, and the challenges, that they're presenting to opponents. So it'll be a great matchup.
Of course, they're coming off a loss up at Western Michigan this past Saturday. Final score there was 49-10. They're led on defense by Brandon Pierce, who is one of the better linebackers, I think, in the Mid-American Conference. He had 14 tackles against the Broncos. So even though they're not winning a lot of games, you still have those guys that continue to play hard.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think that's a credit. I think that's a credit to their coaches and players. They do play hard. They do run to the football defensively. They give you a lot to prepare for on offense. So it's going to be exciting for us. It's going to be important that we have a great week of practice and preparation, and we know our plan and know how to adjust our plan based on what we get from them. So
Sure.
it'll be exciting.
They have a quarterback by the name of Grant Loy. He had 131 yards, but was picked off twice against Western Michigan. Coach, as we said, you got 4 games left. Still can get some positive things out of the season with 4 left.
No, absolutely, absolutely, and I'm excited for these remaining games. I'm excited for this weekend, and we have opportunities to get a few more guys some reps.
Yeah.
You have some of the young guys that you want a red shirt that you haven't played. Well, now there's 4 games left, so there's opportunities for them to get out there and to play. So I'm excited to see how some of these young guys do. Guys like Corey Thomas and Kaishad Mack. I'm really excited to see how they play for us.
I'm looking forward to watching those guys play. Looking forward to seeing you at our next home game, Tuesday, November 12th against Eastern Michigan. For Coach Tom Arth, I'm Joe Dunn. Always remember, go Zips.
Zips Football Weekly with Tom Arth. Presented by Wentz Financial Group. Investment management for your lifetime. Hosted by Joe Dunn. Contributing partners include Summa Health. It's your health. Let's own it together. Miller Lite. It's Miller time. Hilton Akron Fairlawn. Proud to be the host hotel of Zips Football. And the Spaghetti Warehouse. Famous for its 15-layer lasagna.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield IMG College. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Learfield IMG College.